Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
This week's scenario is fire support from the 2014 Steamroller packet. This scenario does have the Killbox Artifice in effect, and consists of 2 flags and 2 objectives. The flags can be controlled for 1 CP and dominated for 2 CPs, and the objectives can be destroyed for 1 CP, but only 1 per player. The objectives have a defense of 5, armor of 18, and 15 damage boxes. The objectives also have the ability Firepower. While this objective is not contested by enemy models, light artillery within 4 inches of this model gain boosted damage rolls.
Alright, since I lost last week's against Epic Resnick, I was the lucky one who got to go play this week. So I decided to play a little bit more competitive list, a little bit more moving parts. So I played with Tiberion, a Cannoneer, an Archidon, as you can tell, Nihilators, of course, Beast Handlers, Ferox, because I think the Ferox have a good place with it, and Rhadeim, because, well, you can't have the Ferox with Rhadeim, and then the Willbreaker.
Hey everybody, this is Solus. For this week's battle, I'll be playing Lylyth3, or Lylyth, the Reckoning of Everblight, along with 2 Angels, a Naga, a Shredder, and Typhon, as well as a Succubus to help me cast Animus and upkeep a spell for free. Lylyth is only a 5 Fury caster, so the free upkeep is fairly important. I'm also using a full unit of Strider Rangers with the Officer and Musician, a Nyss Sorceress and Hellion, a Shepherd, and a Forsaken. The Sorceress is there for the Angels, as well as a couple of her other abilities, such as her Spray and the ability to negate range attacks. And the Shepherd and Forsaken are your standard Fury management.
With my pre-deployment, I decided to put Xerxis in the middle to have better coverage of the table. Looked like my opponent decided to do the same, have better coverage in the middle of the table. For me, I then put the rest of the battle group relatively close. I am bonded to the Cannoneer, because -2 strength in melee would be really helpful when those angels come at me. And of course the Beast Handlers go close, because they need to. That's where the battle group is. The Nihilators are at towards the bottom of the screen. It's kind of hard to see where they're at, but that's where they're all being placed. The Willbreaker is being put right next to Xerxis, and then the Ferox are at the top of the screen, as you can tell. And then Rhadeim is actually at the bottom of the screen, where it's really hard for you to tell where he's at.
So, as far as my deployment goes, I pre-deploy Lylyth pretty much in the center of the board, and then I flank her with both Angels, 1 on each side. The Sorceress goes on one side, on my right flank, and I put the Naga out on my far right flank. I just need the shooting over there, I feel, because of the Nihilators as well as Rhadeim. Hopefully I can snipe out Rhadeim fairly quickly, and he won't be as much of a problem then. And then I put Typhon on my left flank. I feel like he matches up pretty good with the Ferox over there. And then I put the Succubus pretty much behind Lylyth. She's going to stay there most of the game, just so I can upkeep the spell for free, and if I need her to cast an Animus or something like that. Then I pretty much split up my Fury management. The Forsaken goes on one flank with the Naga and the Angel, and the Shepherd goes on the side with Typhon. For my advanced deploy, I put the Striders up pretty much as far as I can. I've got a 12-inch command to work with because of the officer and the musician. So I need to leave a gap so that Lylyth can actually maneuver through her lines. Playing with a huge base caster is a little trickier than normal. You really have to make sure that your spacing is good so that you leave lanes so that you don't have order of activation problems.
Okay, turn one is pretty standard for most games. I activate the Nihilators first. They take the run order. I run a couple up in the front to be more of a screen unit. You know, the sacrificial pawns, whatever you want to call them. Then the rest just kind of run up behind that, keeping everybody in command range. Kind of made a mistake on the placement of the Nihilators in the woods. I kind of placed them a little too close to each other. Rhadeim then runs. He runs up close to the little wall, so I can hopefully get some good cover from anything that may come at him. I then activate Xerxis. He does mobility and on himself and ignite on the Ferox, and then he does his free animus of diminish, because, well, might as well, because it's, you know, something to remember to keep to do. It's, you know, habit. You know, you do it just out of habit. Cannoneer activates. It runs. Thanks to the speed, it can run. Thanks to mobility, it can run quite a bit. Then the Ferox activate and they run. Hoping to get them to a point to where they can actually come up and maybe at the end of the turn attack a beast or models or whatever, and then potentially take out the objective on that far side. Now Tiberion runs up, but like I said, I kind of made a mistake with the Nihilator placement, and I blocked him in. So that wasn't good for me. Then the Archidon activates, it runs up. Well, it riles for one, then runs. And the Beast Handlers activate, they just kind of advance. No reason to have them run up too far and get shot, because support is very important. Especially the Beast Handlers for Skorne. Then the Willbreaker activates, he comes forward. I measured to see if he was in ancillary range. He was. I go to fire at one of the Strider people, and it scatters the wrong direction, of course, and that's it.
So, turn one, I'm got a couple of things that I'd like to do this turn. I'd really like to either kill or at least dismount Rhadeim. If you take him off his mount, he's a little bit easier to deal with. He's not as quick, and his armor drops, of course. The fact that his Ferox are on the other side of the board is going to mean that unless he's good about placement, they're going to have a hard time getting the veteran leader ability from Rhadeim. So I've got decent defense, but of course he's got the cavalry charge, so we'll see how that goes. I go ahead and start off with Lylyth. She declares a ride-by attack after casting Escort, and then I walk her up a little bit. I'm trying to possibly get some shots into the Nihilators this turn, but I'm not going to be able to get her in range. I don't think even if I'd gone forward the full 9 inches, she would have gotten in range. And if I do that, it leaves her in a fairly bad position. So I just go ahead, I go forward a couple inches, a little bit, and then I just walk backwards. I'm trying to set up my next turn for my feet. If I can lock down his army with the feet, it means that it's a little bit easier to deal with. So the Naga walks up and takes a shot at Rhadeim. I don't give him the cover bonus, so he's a little bit easier to hit. I boost to hit, but I don't get the crit, so I go ahead and boost damage, and I do maybe a couple of points to him, so nothing fantastic. Go ahead and start off with the Striders. They go ahead and move around. Like I said, I'm trying to get rid of Rhadeim this turn. It's a little bit important. If he gets in my back lines, it's going to be a little bit awkward. So I also don't want the Striders to get charged by the Ferox, as they are a little bit important for this list, especially with the application of the feat. I go ahead and do a CRA into Rhadeim. I hit fairly easily. I ignore the cover because of their Hunter ability, but I do maybe a point or so to him, not nearly enough to knock him off his horse. So I try and shoot another CRA. The musician's out of range. The officer is there, but he doesn't hit. So since I missed him, he gets to evasive 2 inches forward, and now he is hugging the cover even closer. So that's going to be a little bit harder to get to him. The last 3, I just go ahead and try and shoot the Cannoneer, trying to put a couple of points of damage into him. His AoE ability is going to be a little bit bad for me, especially if I manage to cluster up. I'm not trying to, or I try not to cluster up, but sometimes it's just not something you can avoid. After their activation, I go ahead and use their reform ability just to get him a little bit out of the way. I reform so that Lylyth still has an avenue to get through. Again, trying to set up for my next turn. My angel walks up, trying to get it so that Rhadeim is not getting a cover bonus from him. But unfortunately, at the angle that I moved, I didn't actually get him in range. Oh, he evases again, and now he's even closer, which is not good for me. I go with the Forsaken, staying out of Abomination range, and just take the Fury off of the Naga. The Succubus advances and puts Tenacity on Lylyth, so Lylyth will be sitting at a comfortable 15-19, which is helpful. So the Shredder Tenacities the Angel and walks over to help out with the armor bonus from Escort for Lylyth. The Hellion goes ahead and runs over, hugging Lylyth's base. The Angel just walks up and riles for 2, just trying to, make sure that I have enough Fury for my next turn. So Typhon advances, riles for 1, and Shepherd walks over.
Alright, start. I Reeve, of course. Decided to upkeep Ignite, and now I'm just sitting on the rest. And now, did that last turn, a lot of shots went into Rhadeim, a lot more shots than I thought were going to go into him. But he survived, so that's a good thing. Now, with his ability to reform backwards and into safety, made it a little bit tougher for me. Made it to where it's like, okay, if he was where he was, the Nihilators had a chance to get to some of them, potentially do some damage, but now they're kind of far enough back to where it's going to be really tough for me to engage any of his ranged element with any kind of safety. So I take the Nihilators, and they run. They take the run order, and I'm hoping that I can run them up far enough to lock, or at least we just tie up a lot of his ranged element. Forgot I was in woods, so I had to back that guy up and move him the appropriate distances. And now it's just a matter of bringing the rest of the unit up, hoping that I can get them up there and everybody's in command, everybody's happy. And, you know, there's no attacks, so that kind of sucks. And kind of made a small error on placing the guy that's engaging the Naga. He should have potentially backed up a little bit and been further in the woods. I activate the Willbreaker next. He then advances forward. He puts Puppet Master, excuse me, on the Cannoneer, because his low rat, I pretty much need all the help I can get. So the Cannoneer activates, he advances forward. And with a lot of his stuff either having high defense or stealth, makes it tough. So I go to shoot for the Angel. And we were discussing what all could be hit. And so it's pretty much the Angel. So don't do too much damage. Don't do really damage to the Angel. And then to Lylyth, just kind of eh. Of course, forgetting completely about puppet strings and rerolls, but it's okay. The Archidon moves over, puts Lightning Strike on Xerxis. Xerxis inactivates, puts up mobility. He then receives the charge order. He then charges in. Swinging with the impact attack first, killing, and then with his reach, hitting and, you know, being POW 17, ends up killing. And with mobility up, I get to back up the full distance of 9 inches, not just the 7 of his normal speed, because mobility adds to his speed. So he gets to lightning strike away that distance. Now I'm kind of out in the open, unfortunately leaving it wide open for the Angels to come in, for Lylyth to shoot me, all the other happy things. So Tiberion activates, hoping to get up in the front there, put up his Animus a bump, and get in the way. That's the biggest thing, is him just moving forward, trying to get him in the way. Beast Handlers activate, they come forward. They are not close enough to pull from from Tiberion, but they are just barely close enough for the Cannoneer. So now the Ferox activate, and they take the run charge order. Move forward to engage Typhon, because the last thing I want is him to advance on me and, you know, do some serious damage to me just yet. Then Rhadeim is my next one I have to get going. I believe he is the last one for the turn that I have to activate. And my target is the Angel in the back. Rhadeim is immune to free strikes. My hope is that I could get the Mount in there as well to do impact attacks. But something tells me that this is where I made the comment about messing up with the placement of that one Nihilator. There's no way I can get within ½ inch to do the impact. So I just, you know, we talk about it, and we figured that things I can't get in, I'll just move back and just do the reached the reach armor piercing only. Which is still good. Armor piercing, if I can hit him, armor piercing on one of his guys is going to really do some good damage. But unfortunately, the die rolls were not quite with me.
Starting turn 2, I leech my Fury and realize that I screwed up my Fury count. So I leave 1 on Typhon. He's got a fairly decent threshold, so I take the Frenzy check and he successfully passes. So not great from my end, but at least it wasn't catastrophic. I go ahead and start off with Lylyth again. I upkept Escort for free because of the Succubus, so I'm sitting on 5 Fury. I go ahead and feat and declare a ride by attack again. As you can see, maneuvering a huge base caster is a little bit tricky, like I said, so trying to make sure that everything is good and, you know, measuring precisely. So I'm measuring my melee. I'd like to advance so that I get both of those forward Nihilators, just to try and kill them. Lylyth is weapons platform, so I get to make my melee and my range attacks. I go ahead, I hit the Annihilator on my left side and miss the one on my right. The left one makes a tough check, so that's not good for me. So then I go ahead and shoot. I'm shooting, I targeted the leader just because the auto-fire ability lets me hit all 3 of them, or at least shoot at them. I hit 2, and then they make their tough checks, but they're death chilled. And then I miss the last Annihilator. So, not good, but not terrible. I go ahead, buy a couple of attacks, and kill those 2 Annihilators that I was trying to kill. And then Lylyth completes her ride by and moves backwards. The Shepherd walks over and takes the Fury off of Typhon. I advance with the Sorceress, who goes ahead and sprays, hitting the Annihilator, but he makes his tough check. And then I complete my ride by, just moving it up just a little bit. I walk with the Naga, trying to deal with Rhadeim. But don't manage to. That's not good. Rhadeim is now in my backfield, and my Angel is hurting. So that's not great. Not a great situation. The Forsaken goes, and I take off the Fury for the Naga. Typhon goes, and he bites the first Ferox that's tying him up. I manage to kill him. And then I go ahead and use my second attack as a spray. I boost to hit the Ferox, and I hit him. I manage to death chill him as well, and then I just kill him, so death chill doesn't really matter. My last spray, go ahead and spray the leader, boosting to hit, managing to just barely hit, death chilling him, and kill him as well. So again, death chill doesn't matter, but I did at least get to apply it. I go ahead and go with the Striders now. I've discovered that playing this list, the Striders are actually fairly important. They need to be there so that I can utilize them and apply the feat. So I go ahead and take shots at some of the Ferox. I do maybe 1 or 2 points to them, and manage to death chill. I go ahead and shoot Tiberion and death chill him. The rest of the Striders shoot some guys and apply death chill as well. I did completely forget the plan for this turn, which was to shoot Xerxis, maybe forcing a shield guard, and then shoot him again, and getting the death chill on him that way. But it didn't work out, because I completely forgot about it. I'm trying to decide what to do with my last angel. It's not in a terribly bad position right now, and the fact that he's death chilled means that I can probably do some stuff with him, but I end up just advancing him and trying to shoot the Cannoneer.
Okay, his feat was pretty crippling. Most of my front line it can't do much of anything except for pretty much nothing. I have a bunch of knockdown guys that can't do anything because they're death chilled and knocked down. Both my heavy beasts are death chilled, and one of my Ferox. I've completely spaced off that Typhon can do both shooting and melee in the same round because of his 3 heads. So that was a very painful lesson to learn. Some of the things that you should know, but just gotta go with it when it comes up. So after reaving and doing frenzy checks, I upkeep Ignite on the Ferox. They take the run charge order. The one charges Typhon. My actual placement, we're talking about it, and the thought is that if I can move far enough back, I will still be in melee, but I'll have line of sight to Rhadeim, which gives Ferox the +2 to hit. But with everything else, Unfortunately, there was no way for that to work. So all I could do was just move up as far as I could, which was there. Made my swing. Did some damage, like 5 points. Now it's a matter of activating stuff to where it's just going to hopefully be able to do something. And once again, take another shot. And I roll a 6 to the 6, which means it's going to clip over there, probably pretty much clip next to nobody. Hooray for small blast damage. Area of effect. But it's helped me in the past, so it's okay. It's just the way the gun works. No complaints. Maybe some complaints, but yeah, nothing to worry about. Alright, now it's trying to see what I can do to hopefully survive the next turn, seeing as how so much of my force can't do much. Starting out by activating Tiberion, he just moves sideways. Does 2 for his Animus of Bump. Mostly just so I can get used to using his Animus. When I first started using him, there wasn't a lot of time I'd be able to... I would remember that he had the Animus of Bump. Then I activate the Nihilators that can activate. They take the charge order. So I have 3 that can charge in, 2 that charge Lylyth. The other one just runs in, and they kind of stand up and do their own thing. Doing next to no damage, thanks to not so good dice rolls. Then the Archidon activates, does a rinse and repeat of putting Lightning Strike on the boss. Looks like the Willbreaker moved forward, put puppet strings on E-Xerxis. I then go ahead and pop feet. I don't get close enough to do my impact attack, but I do get close. Well, I impact attack the one guy. So I hit him and I slam him back, because that's where I crit pitch. Because on the Rhino, he gets a crit pitch. So then I start just taking attacks against Lylyth. And so she starts to do transferring and all the other happy stuff. I also did cast mobility on my caster. So that way it gives him the extra distance he needed to get where he needed to. And hoping to inflict as much damage as possible, I pretty much let him just get spent dry. Feet almost kind of a waste, but because I killed somebody with my initial impact, I do get the lightning strike, and Lylyth doesn't have reach, so it means no free strike for me. And I was able to back up, not quite to safety, but far enough back to where hopefully it'll help. And because I had lightning strike up, I could not put up my own the free Animus of Diminish. Now Rhadeim activates, and because he doesn't take free strikes, he advances around, jumps, and does an armor-piercing attack from the back. And he has to transfer that one off as well. And I was able to draw first blood in this game. So now the Beast Hunters activate, they come up, hoping to help stem the massive amounts of fury I have left on the table.
So, going into turn 3, Lylyth is not terribly happy right now. She's being tied up by Rhadeim and Nihilators, and then she got hit in the face by Xerxis, so not happy. Not happy at all. I go ahead, leech my fury, and upkeep the escort for free. I go ahead and heal Typhon for a little bit. And Typhon goes ahead and bites the first Ferox, and then uses his second attack as a spray. Sprays the objective, hitting both the objective and the Ferox. And then goes ahead and kills the Ferox. So, all around good. Typhon is in a decent position right now. And he just pretty much dealt with an entire unit of Ferox by himself. So, yay. Go ahead and have the Sorceress advance just a little bit. She's not going to take a free strike, and then she sprays the three Nihilators, managing to hit 2 of them. One of them makes a tough check, and then the other one just dies. So I go ahead. The Shredder goes rabid, advances, tries to bite Rhadeim. And does dismount him, which is helpful, but now he's out of range for my attack, and then I go ahead and put Tenacity on Lylyth. Striders go. They're making some attacks and missing terribly, so not good. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Lylyth was shooting at Xerxis and did a couple of points and then missed an attack. So not a lot of good there. I go ahead, the Angel charges for free because of the Sorceress on Hellion, boosting an armor-piercing attack at Xerxis. And doing a fairly decent chunk of damage, and then buying an attack and not doing too much to him. So Xerxis is still alive, not great, but not in a terrible position right now, although Lylyth is probably going to get charged by Tiberion, so that's not good. The Angel walks over and tries to hit Rhadeim, and then manages to kill him. So that's good. and he'll overtake just a little bit. I have the Forsaken walks over and Blight bombs. Manages to kill 2 Nihilators, so I'm clearing out the Nihilators fairly decently. There's still a couple left, so it's still not great. I go ahead and move up with the Striders. They actually try and make some melee attacks here. And then the rest of them are moving, hopefully, to stay in the way of Xerxis or Tiberion. I managed to hit a couple of Nihilators, and they all make tough checks, or either I don't hit them or they don't die. So, a little frustrating, but, you know, I'm going to lose an Angel next turn, probably, and then Lylyth is probably going to get hit in the face.
Okay, ow, that hurt a lot. I kind of was worried that the Angel would come up and do what he'd done. That really hurt. So this turn is going to be one of those turns where it is, I have to finish her off. I have to do what I can to finish her off. So I activate the Nihilators first. They take the charge order. I just kind of trying to get a good placement for where my guys are going to go. Rolling and doing some damage here and there, but not necessarily enough. And the one I really needed to go was the Musician. Unfortunately, I was not able to kill the Musician. Activating Xerxis, I cast Mobility on himself, and then Ignite on Tiberion. And then he moves forward to smack on the Angel, because the Angel needs to die, get out of the way, because it's really kind of starting to upset me. So I just keep on swinging until I'm dry again, just to kill off this this Angel. Took everything, but I was able to kill it off. Unfortunately, that also meant that it got transfers given back to Lylyth. Now the Cannoneer activates. He goes to shoot, boosting it to hit, and of course boosting the damage because, well, she needs to take as much damage as possible. So she ends up transferring it off, which is okay, I guess. Then the Beast Handlers activate, they come forward. They enrage. They do some enraging of both the Archidon and Tiberion. Then the Willbreaker activates, and he puts Puppet Master on Tiberion. Then I activate the Archidon. He does 2 for Lightning Strike, and he charges for free, because that's what Enrage allows him to do. I only want to get to the max half-inch distance. I boost it to hit because, well, I need to. I'm able to actually hit him, and no matter what I rolled for damage, it just automatically killed that guy. So then I was going to Lightning Strike back out of the way, and he sits on a lot, And now it's all the eggs in one basket for Tiberion to charge in. So he gets his full distance all the way up and in, charging for free, ignite, and let's go. Let's start swinging. So first one is going to be the Tetsubo. Well, the only one I get is the Tetsubo. I hit. He is on fire because of crit. I critted. Because between ignite and enrage, it's plus a lot. So we're just hitting him and having him transfer a lot of that off. And now we buy and boost second attack. Unfortunately, the dice rolls weren't completely with me, but I was able to continue to hit him.
Going into turn 4, Lylyth is on fire, which is not good. The fire doesn't go out, and then he rolls enough damage to exactly kill me. He boxcarded the damage roll, so I had to transfer that, and that killed the angel. So I've got a Naga, some Striders, and that's about it left. The Sorceress on Hellion is good, but she's not gonna do a whole lot. So I go ahead. I start my turn. I upkeep the escort for free just in case, and then aim and shoot Xerxis. Do no damage on my first shot. Hit my second shot, boost damage, and since he was only sitting on 2 points of health, I managed to actually kill him. So. Lucky on my part. It was an interesting game, so I'm definitely going to have to try and play Lylyth3 a little bit more, and see if I can actually learn how to use a huge base caster. Thanks for watching, guys, and tell us what you think in the comments, and we will see you next time.